What was your take on the whole $5 million drug testing penalty that they didn't end up agreeing on?
Well, I think there's already a stipulation in there where they're going to be penalized more than $5 million if they do fail the test. I don't understand why Pacquiao wanted it so bad. You know what I'm saying? What do you he's got your ex-strength trainers. So what are you trying to say now? If you're implying, are you implying that he's cheating because he's got your ex-strength trainer? If that's what you're implying, which I'm not saying it is or not, I'm not. If that's what it seems like that's what Pacquiao's implying, then do you know something we don't know? Was he giving you something during the time you guys worked together? You don't quite know. It's pretty interesting.
I'm sorry. Didn't Bob Arum say that they didn't want it either, though? That they both agreed that neither one of them wanted it?
Yeah, then Bob did say that Mayweather was right in that little disagreement, and bygones are bygones. But I think it really, at the end of the day, it's all just head games. There's some rules imposed by USADA. There's rules imposed. No matter what people can say about USADA, and they're not trusting USADA or anything. If anybody fails to test in this fight is too big to cover it up. You know what I mean? No matter what people say, people can say about, well, they're going to cover this up or that. No, they're not. You can't cover a failed drug test up in a fight of this magnitude. There's huge writers like Tom Hauser covering the fight, and big names, and even crossover media outlets covering the fight that are just so big that if anybody fails the test, it will come out. So let's not start reaching here. I don't believe anybody's going to fail a test. I think we're going to have a great fight on May 2nd, and I think the best fighter is going to win.
In your opinion, what would you say the differences between VADA and USADA are? Because that's a hot topic among fans.
I think they're both good organizations. I think there's pros and cons to both. I think people just don't like the fact that only USADA has been working with Team Mayweather and Team Heyman and whatnot, and people prefer VADA. But even with VADA, I know they work closely with Victor Conti, and Victor Conti was a person that they were going to a lot and asking for his advice and his opinions. And maybe he's not on the board. I've been told he's not on the board. I thought he originally was on the board. But if you're going to a guy like that and you're going to him and you're asking him for opinions and you're asking him for advice, but then he's also got the athletes that you're testing, isn't it kind of a conflict of interest? For me, I heavily disagree with that. So I think there's pros and cons to both organizations. I think at the end of the day, they are organizations that will benefit the sport, so you need them. And it would be nice if one or both of them worked on every fight, or at least one of them worked on every fight, because it will go a long way towards helping. Maybe it won't fully clean up the sport, but it'll certainly help clean up the sport.
Do you think, talking about all the drug testing, of course, Floyd Mayweather, he started working with Alex Ariza. Do you think he did that to psychologically get into Manny Pacquiao's head, or?
Yeah, I think it is. I think it's if you ain't broke, don't fix it mentality and approach. Mayweather's been so successful doing what he's done. I don't think he's going to make any drastic changes. I think it was more of head games than anything else. And then whatever quotes you're going to give are also going to be head games, no matter what. I think Ariza is a solid guy as far as knowing what he's doing. I think both guys have solid teams on their team. But at the end of the day, yeah, sure, I think it is a bit of head games. At the end of the day, again, you're using USADA. You're using a random drug testing protocol. It's something Manny never did when he had Alex Ariza. So again,
that's the difference, right? Yeah.
That's a huge difference. That makes all the difference. So let's not get ahead of ourselves. I think we're going to have a great fight May 2nd. I think it'll be controversy free, and I think the better fighter will win, and we'll find out what it is, and hopefully everybody can be entertained and everybody can. Unless there won't be a bitter pill in anybody's mouth, unless your guy loses, obviously.
So you honestly believe that there should be no excuses. Whoever wins this fight decisively, as long as it's not controversial, there should be no excuses.
There shouldn't be excuses unless there's a controversial decision. There shouldn't be excuses. I think you finally got these two guys in the ring, and I think they're going to come at their best. Freddie Roach just told us that Manny personally dislikes Floyd, and he feels like he's training harder and he's hitting harder. Justin Fortune went around saying that Manny's hitting harder than he's hitting in years. So hey, we got Superman coming back in the ring. That's the Superman we saw 5 years ago. So if he loses, hey, you guys said it before the fight. He's hitting harder than he's ever hit, and it's a guy he doesn't like. So let's be honest here. You got your guy where you got his guy where he wants him. So if Floyd gets beat, then Pacquiao came hungry. But if Manny loses, he gets washed. This is the guy that's hitting really hard and dislikes his opponent, and he gets washed. Well, then shouldn't be any excuses either. So one way or the other, I think we're going to get a lot of answers on May 2nd. Should be a great night of boxing for the whole business and the whole sport in general. And it's about time these two guys got together and fought.